Hello everybody, it's Mark, the bowler hat farmer. How are you doing? I'm out, it's a glorious day, and I mean glorious. I want to ask you a question. See, this question's been bugging me since a friend contacted me about it. The word sustainable. I think that word means something very different to me to what it means to probably the younger generation who have been, how should we say, indoctrinated by the government. The government want you to believe that nothing on this planet is sustainable, that we're all going to die of starvation if things are left as they are. We are all going to be in the position of dying of global warming because, you know, we're terrible people on this planet and we have taken the time to destroy it on a daily basis. I wouldn't disagree with some of that, don't get me wrong. I don't think the world's heating up, and if it is, it's natural. I don't believe otherwise that global warming is a thing. I don't believe the ice caps are melting at all. I think that things move about in our weather and that is natural. It's happened before, proven to be time and time again that the climate's changed around the world. Unfortunately, I think in the last 50, probably 60 years, our weather has been manipulated. Geoengineering in the skies, chemicals being dropped on the ground. That isn't sustainable. So, Rebecca contacted me the other day. She's the lady I did a video about a few weeks ago who has launched the most amazing, and I mean absolutely amazing, website called sustainabledirectory.co.uk. Now, her directory is a little bit different and a little bit special. So it brings together all of the farmers, growers and producers across the UK and Ireland. Now, in my opinion, farmers and growers know everything there is to know about sustainability. They know that if they don't look after the land, then they won't grow nothing next year. They know they don't look after the animals, they won't get, you know, babies. They won't be able to send them to slaughter. They won't be able to sell the meat. They won't be able to grow the vegetables to raise money to keep the farm going. They understand sustainability. They understand it's important to have a stable environment and to be in the position of stability. So when they talk about sustainable in the governmental terms and they tell you, well, you know, it's because you've trashed the planet and as a result of that you can't fly anymore, you know, you can't have a car anymore unless it's electric. Let me have 2 seconds on that one. Electric cars, what a farce. So instead of having one, whatever kind of power station you're on about, nuclear, there's some clean nuclear now. It's unbelievable power. Instead, we're going to have sustainable power. Yeah, right. We're going to dig up thousands of acres of farmland to dig out the metals we need to produce solar panels, wind turbines. It's just a farce. There's also the other side that we have to then put them somewhere and we have to give up more farmland to make sure that the windmills and the pretty solar panels can produce electricity to keep cars on the road. It's a joke. 50 years ago when they started using diesel vehicles, I appreciate they perhaps weren't very clean. There's some clever scientists out there, guys. They know the answers to all of this stuff. Sustainable is a very different word in today's marketplace. And I think what needs to happen personally is we need to get back to using the word for what it was meant for. Sustainable to me, and what that means is farmers, producers, growers do the best, to the best of their ability, to make sure that we're not damaging the planet, to make sure that we put the hedgerows back in, beautiful one here, to make sure that we're in a position that the farm is still there for the next generation. I always say this, you know, I've got a pocket watch, and I always say to my son, my older son, you know, this isn't my pocket watch. It wasn't my granddad's pocket watch. It wasn't my great granddad's pocket watch, and it will never be yours. And he looks at me somewhat strange one day when he was younger, and he said, well, who are you keeping it for then? I said, no, you're just the custodial. One day, it will be yours. It will be yours to look after. Turn round. Be yours to look after, to cherish and love it like I have, and keep it for your son. That's how farms are handed down, guys. Generations after generations. Sometimes people come along who think, oh no, I'd like to try farming, I'll buy a farm and I'll get on with it. And sometimes they survive. There's a lot of knowledge out there in the world. Sustainable, what does it mean, guys? Do me a favour, like and share this video, but most importantly, put a comment down below about what you think sustainable means. Rebecca's built that website. It's to bring together farmers, growers, producers, and several other options and ideas she's got for that site, which are just mind-blowing to me. It was the missing link. See, I talk about a lot. Do talk a lot. Thanks. I'm Mark the Bowler Hat Farmer. I know, I do talk a lot. I talk a lot about food and food stability. Now, stability in food only comes from sustainable farms. Unfortunately, the governments of the world, and probably the people a little bit higher up the food chain, higher than the governments, people like the WEF, the WHO, NATO, people like that, proper money at the top, see? What they need to do is they need to break the will of us lot. And the way they're going to do that is to make us think we're the problem. Well, we are the problem. We are the carbon on the planet. What's the problem? They talk about sustainable. Just so you fully understand that, they're bringing out policies that get us to net zero. And I'll talk about this very quickly because it isn't something I normally talk about, but unless I'm in a proper environment. Because they do like to censor me. Net zero. If we get our carbon on this planet to zero, at the minute it's 0.04%. Just so you're all clear on that. There isn't this mythical number of 10s and 20% in the atmosphere and it's going to kill us all, we're going to die. They're talking trash. Their own statistics on their own website say it's 0.04%. 0.04% is a tiny fraction of the atmosphere. It's just the right amount. See, we need carbon dioxide on this planet to make these things grow. Trees! To make the grass green, the hedges green. They're green because they're getting carbon dioxide. And in replacement, they're very, very nice to us and they give us oxygen. Now, if you want to reduce all the carbon on the planet down to zero, stop and think about that. Zero. At 0.02%, all the vegetation on the planet dies. That includes us. Because there was no carbon dioxide in the air, there's no oxygen for us. I don't know about you. I've done some stupid things in my time, but trying to live without oxygen, I don't really fancy. It's a bit like trying to eat without food. They want to reduce it down so the plant life starts dying off, so they can sell us more crap food. Fight back at the system, guys. Fight back against this nonsense use of the word sustainable. Rebecca's built a cracking website. On it, when it launches in the next few weeks, you will find farmers, growers and producers all over the country that want to sell either direct to other wholesalers, direct to other farmers, direct to the public, to schools, to restaurants, whatever that might look like. All of the growers, producers and farmers all over the country can register for free. It's a free directory. They can register, they can get themselves on there, and they can be in a very, very unique position when that launches to be there with the excitement that we're going to push through this thing. This is to help people who keep saying, when I do a video and they say, oh, but there's not a farm shop in my area, Mark. We're working on that. Trust me. Work very closely with the Land Workers Alliance. I'm a coordinator with them. Land Workers Alliance is a group of independent small growers and farmers that have thousands of members across the UK doing more and more and more on a yearly basis to grow nice food. I work very closely with the People's Food and Farming Alliance, with Catherine McBean and all the amazing people that she's gathered together and that have come around her. Oh, it's phenomenal to work with all those. They've just launched ambassadors. Ambassadors to go out and talk to people in the farming industry, in the food industry, to bring together concepts and ideas of community gardens, to bring together all of these people. If you have a desire and a passion to be involved in food, to talk to other people about that, maybe you should consider becoming an ambassador. It's a volunteer role. I think I'm right in saying 50 people signed up in the first 2 weeks to go out and talk to people about this revolution. There's nothing else you can call it. There's a food revolution going on. There is a revolution going on that is going to sweep the nation and knock the supermarkets for six. Remember, guys, you hold the power. You, me, everybody. Boys and girls, have a great day. Make sure you're sustainable in everything you do. Mark, the Bowler Hat Farm.